broke the line.
Yeah.
What we got?
That shit hurt you when they don't care about you. Wake up.
What's up and welcome back. Where the drill's gone wild. I'm RJ Stiesel, aka Mr. Sling That Thing. With me, as always, my co-host, Gentry Ward, aka Heathen Outdoors. What are we talking about today?
Yo, dude, I'm excited. I'm excited about today's show. We got a lot. We got a lot to discuss, got a lot to go over, and we got some special things for our hunters and our fishermen out there. We're
Definitely.
gonna be talking about that late season tips, if you will. We can,
Late season steezing, baby. That's what we're doing.
yeah, today's episode, we're gonna be talking about some pointers for hunting and fishing at this time of year. The hunt season is over for my specific region, but it's not all the way across America. There's still some states out there, some that even go out to, end of February, and there's a few select states that do weird stuff like all the way out to April. It just depends. Still got some people out there hunting. You got fishing year round. Can't bass
Yeah.
fish until like,
No real off season down here.
I think mid-June is when bass are legal up in my area right now. You could always be traveling. So late season hunting and fishing tips is going to be the vibe of the episode today. And then we also have some free products that we're going to give you if you want them. And we'll discuss that as we go along, and then let you know towards the end of the episode how to go about getting them. Just, I guess, a quick teaser. A sit or no sit 30-second chart, decision chart, food charts for hunting and fishing along a vast region. Most of the East Coast, I think, is what we covered. So, yeah, we have that out there, those products, and we're going to hit them pretty in detail in this episode, and then we'll let you know how you can get them at the end. RJ, what do we have after that? We got some gear. Is that right?
So we got gear breakdowns for what's going to help you maybe next fall or next cold season, next hunt season, based off experiences from Ward's hunting and my fishing throughout the last few months, really. Things that worked, things that didn't. We're here to just share that with you and help you have a better season than we did this cold one, huh?
It was a rough one. It was definitely.
I mean, I've had better for sure, but learning.
Yeah. Dude, I loved it. I loved every moment of suffering that this season
Worth it.
It taught me so much.
Every 8-hour day and 10-hour day of staring at nothing happening.
Or just brutal weather.
Just hoping it's going to change.
Yes. Yeah, we got some gear recommendations, and then later on in the episode as well, we're going to be dropping some products. Some sponsored, some not. We just want to hook our listeners up with some good stuff that's out there in America. So let's dive right into it, Get a sip of the special.
Sip of the fancy coffees. Is that Italian?
Italian. Coffee. Tell you where it ain't from, Venezuela's. Anyway. So what I'm gonna be covering for food and basically give them a show breakdown how it's gonna go. We're gonna be talking each topic. I'm gonna hit my points real quick. RJ will hit his points for obviously fishing, and then we're just gonna conversate about it for a minute, and then we'll move on to the next section. The first section for hunting and what information I'm putting out is not only just from research, it's also from experience, but this is more for big woods. There are similarities in each region. I'm not putting out West Coast stuff because that's more spot and stalk, and I'm not too experienced, so I'm not going to put shit out that I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. So yeah, first one's food. You got to find what still matters. Food is one of the biggest things come late season. It's all about survivability in the late season. Just hitting my points real quick. What you need to be looking for in the woods. You need to be looking for remaining hard mast. That's your oak flats with leftover acorns, heavy browse areas, beech, maple, young regeneration, clear cuts, edge regeneration, a holding deer sign. It's got to be holding deer sign. If it ain't got that, then it doesn't matter if it's that clear cut edge. But another one is old apple trees. The research states, abandoned homesteads, but I've found apple trees. I even found a freaking orchard in Kentucky, like a whole, like 30, 40 apple.
Wild orchard.
Yeah, dude. Heaven, right?
Dang, the apple seed went hard.
Yeah. Just toss them out there. The number one rule I have for food for deer hunting, pretty much wherever you're at, is late season food must be close, consistent, and worth the risk. More to follow on that. RJ, what you got for food for fishing? Don't mind my SpongeBob mug.
Just double cupping out there.
Listen, you gotta be
Gotta
caffeinated,
have options.
you gotta be hydrated, and you gotta use your daughter's birthday gift, even if it's
Awkward.
how the fuck do you
How do you use that? You just pour flour in it?
I'm gonna dribble.
No, I'm just kidding.
Anyway,
But no, yeah. The bass are still eating the same thing they're always eating. They're eating fish that fit in their mouths. If it fits in their mouths and it's alive, they're going to try to eat it. But during these colder months, they definitely are slowing down. So they're going to be a little pickier. There's plenty of ways around that. Like, you just show them what they want. And I'm going to cover that as we go along in the show. The biggest takeaway just to keep in mind throughout, though, when fishing, regardless of what you see, understand the time. It's cold, okay? The fish are still eating. They're just more selective about what they're eating. So be patient, because the fish are going to continue to be patient until they see what they want. But that's just in the South. I know the North's way different. You guys are cutting holes in ice and dropping a line. I've never been
yeah,
ice
but that's
fishing.
like,
I can't really talk too much on that. It sounds fun. Looks great.
listen,
I'd love to.
I
But
think we actually had a conversation about it. What was it, last night? It was last night where we were talking. Like, I can be cold. I'd rather
yeah,
be cold. I'd rather be cold
much
in the
rather be
army
cool.
versus hot. Doing the army hot was miserable, but wet cold, dude.
Yeah, no, that you don't mix. You don't. It's like being hot and cold at the same time. That's not enjoyable. Hot and wet, not cool. You ain't never been too hot and cold in bed at the same time. You got the one leg out, the other
Well,
arm in.
that's what we call medical deficiencies.
Nah, we call that outside influence.
Or maybe
Those are
outside
environmental factors.
or maybe menopause. You never know.
Yeah, possibly. Can't. I'm a man. I'll pause.
Oh, Jesus. So with food, personal experience, right? Number one, if you're on like Onyx, I have a couple scouting videos on there. Actually, I just posted one recently that talks about using different layers for your scouting advantage. And I talk about acorns. There is a layer on there that you can turn on acorns, but I talk about accuracy on there. Is that a trustworthy layer? I'd say if there's a big clump, it's worthy of getting boots on ground to go check out. The 1 and 2 specks here and there, maybe not trust that. Use it to your discretion. However, know what tree you need. You got your white oaks and your red oaks, and know when they drop. Your white oaks drop sooner in the season, and then your red oaks, even if they dropped, they may not be the best thing to hunt. They may be the worst thing to hunt right when they drop, especially those red oaks. They have higher tannin levels. So red oaks really need a good rain or a good freeze and a frost to be rinsed out thoroughly to get them tannins off, because they're just a lot more bitter for the deer, essentially.
Mhm. Those
Later on in the
tannins
season.
actually affect the water clarity out here quite a bit.
Those what?
The tannins
The tannins?
from so your pine trees full of tannic acid, and they're dropping pine needles and pine cones and all the other things and into the water, turning the water just constantly brown. It's not dirty. It's just, it's tannic. It's tannic water. But understanding how to effectively move through that.
It's something
That's
every day, Science.
science, bitch.
I guess,
my creek tastes pine saw.
my last thing on food, kind of a big one, but once again, teaser here. One of the products that I have for you that I'll tell you how to get later on in the episode here is late season whitetail food guide, and this is East Coast regions. I'm just going to give a quick summary of it, but it breaks it down public and private. So it's got broke down where what you need to find in the woods and what you can plant in your own woods if you have private land, or if I don't know all 50 states hunting regulations, but if there is public land in a state that allows you to plant, I don't think there is, but if so, I got a guide that tells you what you can plant in each region. This is mostly East Coast, but I'll just go over my area, northeast. I have southeast, which is like Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, South Carolina, North Carolina, northeast, and then mid-Atlantic region, hill country. So northeast is for public. You're looking for beech buds, maple browse, birch, aspen, remaining acorns, wild apples, and then on private plantable area, brassicas, top tier right there. Winter rye wheat, standing corn beans, and then keynote is calories plus thermal cover drive daylight movement. That is everything in the northeast block of that product. And it also has coastal tidal regions, New Jersey, Delaware, Virginia, as well as Carolina's coast. So yeah, that's what I have on food. Got the guide out there. If you want to check it out, keep listening.
Yeah.
RJ,
If you're still with us, still hanging in, understanding what we're putting down. We got
smell what I'm stepping in. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Tasting out, You got anything else on food, bud? Or are we gonna move right along?
When it comes to bass and what they eat, it really depends on the body of water. You really have to go examine your body of water. Your private pond and your local creek are more than likely not going to react the same.
An ecosystem.
They might bite a few of the same baits for sure, because the fish are still the fish and they still like that stuff.
Right.
Out of place gets bit once in a while, but a tempting presentation gets bit a whole lot more than that, right?
So you mean out of place in the sense of that pond doesn't have that thing
so
in
it's
that.
It's more so like an attention. You grab their attention. Like you
Mhm.
throw something that they're like, dang, what is that? So bass don't have hands. I mean, they're fish. So how do you think they figure stuff out? But how do you think they figure it out? Is this safe or not? They use the one thing they've got that can adjust, touch, release, grab, right? And that's their mouth. So sometimes when they're biting that whatever that is that grabbed attention, they weren't biting it. They were like, what even is this?
Checking it out.
And you just happen to be quick enough to send that hook through their lip. There's chance, and then there's, precision.
You, your new sponsor. I told you that I followed him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, side note, guys. One sec. I'm on there somewhere. What was that new sponsor? You said it was Beyond Braid, correct? Hell yeah.
Mhm.
So I went on their page, just check it out. You mentioned it this morning, and they had a video. Trying to find it. 1 second. Sorry. There we go. Beyond Braid. There it is. All right. Boom. I think they put it out this morning. The Snatch, dude. Where'd it go? I can't find it. Whatever. Oh, wait. I liked it. Duh. I'm being silly. You?
Now you got me checking. Now we're checking TikToks while we're supposed to be talking.
TikTokers.
It's all right. I want to see it.
Oh,
though.
dude. Dude, I don't know why. It popped up from like 20. It's a 2022 post, but this Snatch, dude, I gotta turn the volume up on this bad boy.
From the pond.
Not real quick. Did you hear that? Bro, it sounded like a gunshot went off. You snatched that daggone fish's mouth off. Woo.
I just posted a video of it going the other way, where I casted it, but it was like, I was like, oh.
All right, so we're gonna come back in just a minute, and we'll go on to the next section.
All right, we're back from our break. I got that video pulled up. It's the 6 Cents Carolina pre-rig over on the Mr. Sling That Thing page. But dude, look at this. Just listen to this cast.
Nice. Nice.
launching jets, dude, from the bank.
Mm,
But
right.
yeah, moving forward, start talking about how we're gonna use some of that food knowledge to tackle some of them trophy bucks and trophy bass, huh?
Yeah, yeah, we're going into section 2 here. Section 2, I guess it might be a little, I mean, it's same, but different.
Same, but different.
Yeah. So, thermals and security cover. Thermals apply more in some regions than they do others. Up here in the big woods, they don't apply like they do in hill country. However, kind of leads into the next section here, but microclimates, there's a lot of that. And I'll talk about some things that I experienced myself in the big woods this past winter. So just to hit my points here real quick.
Good points.
Thermal and security cover and what it's talking about, what you're looking for. First one is dense conifer cover. If you don't know, hemlock, pine, spruce, your evergreens that are going to have canopy cover from top to bottom to provide security from the weather and from you. That's what you're looking for in the woods. If you don't know, now you know. All right, wind blocking terrain features is the next one. Points, benches, leeward sides. Got a lot more to come on that. And then south facing slopes and or sun exposed benches. Doesn't necessarily have to be south facing. If the sun's hitting it in your region at the right time, then that's where you need to be. Thick cover, 200 to 400 yards of food. So that thick cover is near 200 to 400 yards away from food. We'll talk about where to hunt a little bit more, but bedding tucked inside of cover, not on open edges. And then my rule for hunting, late season applied to this topic. If it's cold, windy, or snowy, cover matters as much as calories. That cover matters just as much as food when you get into that late season.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds like the bass too, for the most part.
Yeah.
As a bank fisherman, I'm probably not approaching with thermals. But, you got the guys on the boats and they've got all their forward facing sonars and whatever, dude. They got so many devices to tell you the land. It tells you the water clear, like all that stuff.
That glass and
But
scope thing, I don't know what the hell it's called.
I guarantee it helps. I know it helps because I
I
saw
seen somebody out there on the river using it this summer.
the young guy who won a Bassmaster this year or last year now. He caught 10 fish and not one of them was under 5 pounds. Or no, he caught 5 fish and not one of them was under 10 pounds. In one competition, dog? One day out, you went and caught 60 pounds of fish in 5?
He needs to call our boy Stellar and have like a big log set up with some like epoxy
Or
water.
Johnny Dang, because he's going to need a chain for all them fucking things.
Trophies.
Put him on a stringer.
Oh,
But yeah, so the bass they're hiding too, man. They're seeking cover because just like you said, cover and calories, man, they're neck and neck with what's most important, and it really depends on that individual that day. So with that, we're looking for submerged logs, overhang from tree just over the edge of the bank because that's stable there. The
shadow cover, would you call that?
yeah, basically, like it's more than that too, because even though it's shadow cover, that water tends to stay calmer. From at least like in the ponds and stuff that where I'm fishing, the wind will be blowing across the pond. It could be blowing into this corner or out of this corner, right? If it's out, it's got a little ripple. If it's in, it's almost flat.
Because it's protected. Okay.
Because of the trees breaking it down before it gets to the water, or if the water's just slightly lower too, that'll really change. Okay. So they're in the still, calm waters. If it's too shallow, they went a little deeper, but to the same type of environment. They're trying to submerge themselves and lock themselves in place. So this is when you're throwing or pitching and flipping lures into just tight, nasty spots where you either you're going to catch a fish or you're going to catch a stick. But you spend enough time, you'll be able to tell the difference and you'll be able to find them even when they're hunkered down and they're not ready to go anywhere. So those, what do you call it, microclimate considerations?
Yes, and we'll definitely get more into that in a minute. A couple points I wanted to talk about from my own experience here in regards to thermal and security cover. The when you go out and you're doing your boots on ground, the spots that I noticed in big woods up here for sure was bedding. You always have like bedding areas up under the evergreens that has a 4 or 5 foot gap from the earth to the lowest hanging branch, and you'll notice that spot there was, goodness, 9 to 12 inches of snow depth during some points of my season up here. But then that spot right there would just be, you'd still have grass right there. So those warmer little spots, those are good spots to check out. And then so much there was a lot of deer bedding in the cattails and stuff like that down in the swamp. But more often than not, if there was that micro terrain feature, like a small hill, talking 10-15 foot of elevation versus the rest of the terrain in that one little spot, 9 times out of 10 there was bedding up on that somewhere. And then as far as south facing slopes, it does depend on your area. It depends on where. So just for example, my area, typically winter season, you're going to have a north to northwest wind blowing. So that puts them, they want that big buck is going to be on the opposite side, right? He's going to be on that leeward side of the slope where the wind is blowing down at him, but then he also has his eyes on the rest of, because he's elevated slightly. So he can see everything in front of him and he can smell everything coming from behind him. And it is very difficult to outsmart him.
They try to counter his natural survival instinct.
You're trying to get some food, and you're trying to go for that, the trophy antlers and shit like that. But that dude's trying to survive. So
oh yeah,
it's his woods. You're just in it, So yeah, thick cover, the 200 to 400 yards. We're gonna get more into that. We'll cover that in a minute, and then yeah, microclimate check. I'm going to that one. This is a big woods advantage. You do have some big woods regions that are more flat, but my area is not that at all. Not it's constantly just up and down, bench, straw, spur, hill, but micro. It's not a mountain. It ain't flat. That microclimate check. Leeward side from prevailing winter wind, just kind of hit that. Sun exposure during midday warming. So what that kind of is implying is if you have food that is in an area that is just super cold during the day, it has, a good canopy, it's not getting that sun exposure, might not have as much movement there. But then if you have that same food in a different spot that has a good open terrain that the sun can get in where they can get a little warmer while they're eating it, that'd be the more likely spot to go. Reduced snow depth, kind of hit that too with the whole evergreen, especially when you have those crazy hilltops where it's just evergreen, and then opening up on the top. So it's perfect for cover and concealment. Slight elevation change, creating warmer pockets. Those little tiny hills, the 10-15 different feet of elevation change is a little bit warmer than down in that little.
The bass are doing it too, tucking just one more foot out, but there's a slight 2-foot ledge there that lets him get behind another wall to help protect him and lock him in.
I got a rule for this one too, and I can apply it to both hunting and fishing. Subtle terrain changes equals major movement advantages. Bam.
Oh yeah. Oh, 100%.
Pull out your journal and jot that down, baby.
I caught a over 5.5 pound fish on a crankbait that I'd accidentally removed the stick he was hiding by. See, you can hook a stick by accident.
Oh, dude, remember him?
Like I pulled it in, I threw it right back, and almost instantly he hit it because he was disturbed. He was like, "What's going on?" I was like, "This is what's going on." He said, "Oh." Nice.
I've caught many a type of brim in my day. The slim brim is probably the biggest one, I'll tell you
Dude,
what.
I've caught some monster brims out here. I'm used to, like this big, maybe an inch and a half tall. It's a little thing.
Bait
Dude, I'm
fish.
catching like footballs, dude. Full frying pan. I'm
Dinner
like,
for one, baby.
I'm catching bluegills that could have ate my PB bass when I was a
Let's
kid.
fucking squeeze it. Was it when I was down in Florida fishing when we were having that conversation? This was what?
Couple
Christmas,
weeks ago.
couple weeks ago, we were talking about where everybody's like, no, you're not. No, that's not brim. That's bluegill. No, that's panfish.
Yeah.
You were like, no, there's actually 17 species and they're all basically the same fucking thing.
Yeah, they're all from the Gentry family. You can look it up.
Hey, man, if I catch a fish,
Bass or largemouth bass fall in that too.
I typically don't Google, can you eat this fish? I'll find out.
Yeah, I'll just cook it until I realize I can't.
Like, I don't like it that way. Let me try cooking it
Yeah,
another
it's
way.
probably just the way I
And
cooked it.
they're like, you know what? This ain't the fish for me.
If it ain't good when it's fried, you know it's not good.
Oh, yeah. Fried's like,
That's like the minimum. It does it all for you. The food don't even got to be good. Just fry it. But if it still tastes bad, you cut.
out, Bubba. We fried everything.
Yeah.
Fried everything.
Yeah, I'm cooking macaroni in a coffee pot in the middle of an Iraqi desert. I really don't care anymore.
No, I don't have. I'd say I have a broad palate for sure. Just
Yeah.
get the culinary background before the Army, and
I just
love
like what I like though. And
passion for
those
cooking,
things.
but deeply rooted in Southern. Like if I'm making an Italian dish, it's still got a little bit of Southern twang into it.
Everything I make's gonna be Cajun. It
Mm.
doesn't matter. I'm gonna find a way to put Cajun in it without
Bro, you
destroying.
were in Louisiana for like all of 3 months. Get over it.
Yeah, for real. Spent most of my time at
We're
Fort
still
Polk
in
in Iraq
Iraq.
or at school. I was at drill school, ALC in Iraq.
Nah.
And I was only there 2 years. You do the math.
All righty. Next section. Section 4, travel routes. The big one. It's a big one for the whole season, but we're
Yeah,
going to talk about how to apply it for late season. So you want to hunt the
definitely for hunting.
commute.
I don't have a travel route, but I've got something. Yeah.
So hunting the commute. All right. Short, efficient routes between the bedding and food. Edge travel, cover to cover movement, natural funnels, ditches, creeks, benches. With that said, your travel, especially if you're going to be still hunting, you want to be down in those like ditches, creeks. That movement that you're going to make down there is going to sound a lot different than you crunching in the snow to get where you're going. I mean, basically, I'm saying find the quietest walking in route as well as what you're hunting too. Avoid wide open hardwood crossings, and then staging areas inside cover before the food. Don't be at the food. Be in those staging areas, and then we'll get into pressure a little bit more, but I do want to hit this one because it's very relevant to that bullet. If you are noticing, say you're checking out this one spot has food, it's been hit in the past 24, 48 hours. You sit, don't see anything. You sit in that staging area. Contradictory to what I'm going to tell you a little bit later on, which is the one and done mindset. If you have a different area or something like that, or you just have, you know that there's going to be deer there, right? You got that feeling? Just push closer to the bedding area, not too far, but go in another 50, 100 yards, more than likely 50, stick towards that 50 yards into that cover because it just means, maybe they're pressured a little bit more. So you want to go further in towards that bedding area. Hello?
That's the VA calling.
The Rivery. Oh, dude, answer that. That's important. You go ahead.
Hello? Hello?
They're calling about his third penis.
Guess we got a holiday coming up. Martin Luther King Day. And if you didn't know, the VA will not be open on Martin Luther King Day unless you need an emergency or something.
Those bragging some bitches didn't call me.
Oh, it's coming.
It's
It's
coming.
coming.
Just like the mail I got. You know?
Yeah, right.
Anyways,
Yeah, back to what we were saying.
yeah. So pushing a little bit further. Rule for this one for deer. Late season deer do not roam, they commute. Food, bedding, security. That's it.
Wake up, go out, eat, come back, be safe, sleep. Basically. I mean, they got a day job.
Sound like a fucking safety brief, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Don't add to the population. Don't. Oh boy.
Well,
Got anything,
that's not
what-
too dissimilar from what the bass are doing either, though. I
yeah,
mean,
tell me about that because, like,
so
you
like,
know, I hear about listeners right now. I want to know because I don't know.
so keep like something to keep in mind: 65 degrees to 80 degrees Fahrenheit is like optimum bass feeding temperatures. Okay.
Okay. Mhm.
Up north where you're at, you're probably not seeing anything close to 60 for quite a while. But down in the south,
May.
it's still happening. I mean, I think the high today is going to be 60 something.
Mm.
So the bass are feeding. Right? I mean, they're feeding. They don't hibernate. They're always feeding. But like you said, man, they're not just mindlessly wandering around the pond, the creek, the lake, wherever you are. They're on a mission. They have a route that they've been taking, and you can see it a lot easier if you have a smaller body of water you can observe.
Okay.
You'll see the biggest bass of them more than likely, and he'll have a little school. He'll have a school of some bass with him, a couple
We have
partners,
school.
maybe some children. School app. Check us out. Future Soldier Prep Program. You'll know
Hell
it's
yeah.
us by the logo. But yeah, they're schooling, and
Okay.
the bait fish are out. If you can see bait fish, then odds are that's probably what they're eating, right? Another thing to think about though, if you're seeing bait fish in the winter, they might have spawned. Like you might have missed a spawn period.
Uh-huh.
Bass only like around 60 degrees is when bass really start to spawn and start doing their breeding. It's not about when they do it. It's just the temperature has to sustain the fish eggs. That's it.
Yeah.
But this is also one of those times where we get a false spawn.
Mhm.
False spawn. It's a full spawn, but the freeze is about to kill all them babies.
Mm.
Fish already have a terrible attrition rate. We've all seen Finding Nemo. Okay. Like the amount of fish eggs laid compared to adult fish,
Mhm.
the attrition rate is insane. The mortality rate,
Mm.
more than likely they're not going to die or not going to live. It's not through that cold. So keeping that in mind, I mean, kind of touching in with those micro environmental considerations we were talking about.
Yeah.
A little bit more in on that. But yeah, man, it's still cold though. Just because it spikes 60 degrees doesn't mean it's always 60. That water's got to warm up. Them fish got to warm up. So what do?
Yeah.
You throw something they're eating, but you throw it slower than they're moving.
Mm.
Targets of opportunity is what they're looking for. It's the easiest, most advantageous, least amount of risk, most security, most calorie intake, right? Like they're literally thinking the same thing your deers are thinking. I need to go get as many calories as I can get. Yeah, deers, it's proper. Google it. So's fishes.
Maybe in the Urban Dictionary.
Check Webster, Merriam.
Oh.
But yeah, man, it's just really pay attention to the body of water more so than what you're hearing me say or what's on the internet.
Yeah.
Your pond, your lake, your creek, your whatever is going to tell you what they're eating more than I can. I can tell you what mine are eating: bluegill, crawfish, and shad. But that's what they're eating everywhere. So that's just kind of what that's their trinity of food that you can rely on. Throw cricket, fuck it.
You mentioned temperature,
Yeah.
and I have something for. Do I have? 1 second. Is this one? No. Okay. So another product that I have out there for same kind of regions I was talking about, pretty much just East Coast. It kind of breaks it
Mhm.
down into like 4 different sections. This one right here is just the example for big woods upstate, northeast area essentially. It's a late season whitetail food versus temperature chart. So just for just read off one real quick. Temperature range above 32 degrees. You got primary foods deer prioritize woody browse, beech, maple tips, remaining acorns, cereal grains if available, brassicas after frost. Same thing like the red oaks, like I was talking about earlier.
Mhm.
And then what deer are doing, how to hunt. Those are your 3 sections. Deer movement is more relaxed and spread out. They feed longer and may move earlier. You can hunt broader travel routes between bedding and food. And then this goes from that 32 degree, above 32 to 20 to 32, 0 to 20, and then below 0. And it just breaks it down by each temperature range. So free. We'll tell you at the end how to get that if you want it or need it. Um, do we have one for you got one for fishing, is that right? You got something for temperature range? I
I
believe you do.
mean, for temperature range, I basically was saying it.
Mm. It's not necessarily what you throw, but how you throw and how you reel and stuff or
So with
under
the temperature, you just have to
oh,
model you just have to replicate what's going on, you know?
mhm.
It's cold. They're not moving at high speed, so don't unless
So
you're
don't be
unless
throwing
whatever
don't be
animal
throwing
you're replicating does in the cold. You know what I mean? You're not gonna put a lizard out there and make it do the water basilisk run across the water
right.
because
The
1,
list
that
is not
lizard doesn't even live here, and most lizards we're dealing with, we're talking like salamanders, not even
mhm,
lizards, or some anoles, some small lizards, right? Then they ain't the basilisk. They can't run across water, so don't make them do it, period. Especially not in the cold when they definitely would be closer to like a dead stick at that point because of them being cold-blooded, you know? So just keep it realistic, and that's I actually spent more time watching videos of how the bait moves than I started trying to figure out when the fish bites.
that
So, like,
makes sense.
what do crawfish run like? How does a crawfish run,
Mhm.
right? Like, that's how okay, let me figure out if I can replicate that with a crawfish lure. How does a dying, minnow act?
Act
Like, what's its
properly.
patterns kinda replicate? You
Mhm.
don't wanna be too spot on because then it's almost robotic to the fish and unnatural.
Yeah.
You gotta be able to work
Mm,
within those parameters and basically just mimicry mimicry of real life animals with your soft plastic animals.
gotcha. I wanna relate something back.
Color's also a big factor too.
What's that?
Color, like the color of your
Color.
lure. The color of your lure is also that'll make or break your entire fishing trip.
What what color are you throwing right now, this week?
So with my water, it's a little chopped up. We just had a rain, so the bottom got all moved up. Water's extra the clarity's extra low. So
Uh-huh.
I would focus more on a darker presentation, black and blue, um, plum, yeah, like what do you call that one? June bug, purple with the green flakes in it. You want a real dark and maybe some contrast. The contrast isn't as important right now, but that dark, because the bass are going to see the silhouette more than they're going to see the color. And that silhouette of darkness is more realistic to an actual organism that's happening in their environment at that time.
Mm,
It's like I found out black and blue is literally just how bass view baby bluegills. It's black and blue to us,
yeah.
but when their eyes see a baby bluegill, we'll see
They
green and all
they
this color. They're just
oh,
seeing black and blue.
yeah, makes
So
sense.
understanding like what they see really helps too when you're that's why I'm saying that color is important. You got dirty water, throw something dark. If it's clear, you're gonna want to maybe focus on something more translucent or definitely natural, leaning on the whiter side of things.
Okay.
Uh pink pink and chartreuse can usually be used anywhere. And depending on the UV light coming through, they're seen the same way. as well as the white. I said white. So pink, chartreuse, and white all look the same depending on lighting.
If you say charcuterie board one more time, I'm gonna have to take a
It's a
break.
charcuterie board.
Charcuteries.
It's
Okay.
it's a
I wanted
Daisy
I wanted
Dukes.
to I wanted to relate something and maybe talk biology for a minute. I know that's more your lane than mine, even though
Yeah, I'm
it's
all science over here. No
yeah.
skill.
So talked about like spawning. To relate that to deer, you talk about the rut, right? With the whole everybody questions when the rut's going to start and all that. It's typically around the same time every year. However, weather does dictate it to an extent, but it's ultimately the does. When they go and eat, they're going like, hey, my body can handle having a baby
So
right now.
when the doe starts shaking that milkshake and all the bucks come to the yard, that's when you
Oh
know.
goodness. So you typically have your fall, you know, your rut, your main rut.
Mhm.
And with that, you have say 15, 20% of the herd of does going into heat early. And then you have like 85%, right?
You
And
already
then you
might.
have like your late, right?
Yeah.
Where it kind of dips off. And then there's a few weeks of if they did not get bred, they will go into heat again. And then that's like your secondary rut. But then also, especially this year, I noticed some strange activity in February, March, something like that,
Mhm.
around this area where, I mean, it was a warm and wet spring, very, very wet spring. But then come to hunting season, like it was, into September, week prior, whatever, and I'm getting spotted deer on my cameras, which shouldn't be a thing. So it's like, why are they having babies like a month ago? That doesn't make any sense. Weather. You can break it down. You can break down science all you want. At the end of the day, these are animals with their own minds, and it's
They
it's
don't know how to
hunting.
read a calendar. They go off what it feels like. It
Mhm.
feels like it's been about a year since I did this. Better do it again. The weather lines up.
Yeah, I mean, it's really that. Like you can't exactly explain it. That could have been a key indicator that we were gonna have a fucking bad winter, and that we have, dude. It's brutal up here.
Yeah.
Like I think last hunting season there was the I remember the worst hunt I had. It was 12 degrees, and it was like doing that freezing rain stuff. I don't know how it was
Yeah, I love sleep. Gotta love
not
it.
not snow at 12 degrees, but it was as soon as it hit, it was freezing, and I
Welcome
could
to the
bring my
north, big dog.
like I still seen deer. They're still
Yeah.
moving, but then there was 2 or 3 hunts with snow involved last season, and then this
Mhm.
season, dude, the last month and a half, rough.
Yeah, December until now. I mean, it's been rough down here too, like with tornado warnings and just random thunderstorms. It's Christmas. What are we doing? Like I tried to beat a storm out the other day. As soon as I got out the car, rod ready, it was like tornado warning in effect. I was like, come on, man. Come on, man. So I was like, all right. But like, there's nothing going on. I got this. I cast it. And then it starts raining. I'm like, come on, man. Come on. Don't do this. I reel it in. I'm about to prep another cast and then lightning. And I'm like, all right, come on, man. Like, I got out here. I've been out here 4 minutes, dude.
That's the southern weather for you, though, for real. But
It just kept
up
getting
here,
worse
dude,
every 5 seconds.
my phone constantly goes off talking about some lake effect snow. However, the snow belt up here typically stays south of me, and I mean like the very tip top of the snow belt is 10 miles south of me, and it could be Watertown, 30 minutes south of me, could get 60 inches of snow, and we could get
Mhm.
2 up here. So
I
I'm in
mean,
a
you
good
remember the weather
spot
out
for
here.
that at least. But yeah, dude, like Oswego, Pulaski County, that area, While I was down in South Carolina just like a week ago. I know I jumped from Florida to South Carolina quickly, but
Yeah, whatever.
they got, I think, like 6 feet of snow, like 24-hour period. It was dumb. Ain't fishing and hunting in that.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
I will. I'll figure it out.
Do you have anything else on travel routes or any other pointers in general before we go on to the next section here?
Not necessarily, no. Not really. Nothing too much for traveling. I mean,
Okay.
if you're gonna fish the bank, try to cast before you get up on the water.
Mhm.
Like, if you're gonna just cast straight out,
You want to
or
broadcast?
position yourself further down the bank so that you can cast along the bank at about a 45-degree angle, preferably towards, like, a pocket or some kinda structure, or you're just running the bank. That 45-degree angle will put it in the strike zone and keep it in that length of the strike zone so that the bass can chase it down, run it, whatever. But other than
Nice.
that, route route's pretty simple, man. Don't pull up stomping.
There you go. Well, that's actually a good way to end that because the next topic here is pressure audit. Uh, with that said, this will tie in with another product that we have for you, but I'm gonna go on through these real quick. It says do this before you hunt. What you're looking for, right? Human boot tracks in the snow. Maybe you're in an area that doesn't have snow. Look in the mud. Looking, little creek bottoms. There's going to be a track there if somebody walked there, especially from my area. Snowmobile, logging road traffic. That's more in your probably your national forest and stuff like that. Like the area that I hunt, it's 800 acres. There's no motorized. You have a lot of that up here where there's areas that are free range, but then there's non-motorized use as well. Easy access points nearby. Anytime you're scouting, it doesn't matter late season or not. And RJ, you can kind of go along with this one too, where if there is a rectangle of 800 acres, and then at each and every corner, there's parking lots. Maybe that's the only place you can park. Cool. But maybe go in somewhere else. Avoid that main traffic area essentially. And that's probably, I assume
I
it.
mean, yeah. Like, if you're at a pond and you see 5 guys fishing all separately, you're not gonna go stand next to one of them.
Yeah,
You're gonna go try and get
find
your
a
own
spot.
little space, you
Yeah.
know what I
You
mean?
don't pee in the urinal right next to the guy. You go
You don't
one
pee in
down.
the same urinal as the guy unless you know him for at least 3 minutes.
Then you
That's the
cross
rules.
streams.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, pressure audit.
What are we doing
Pressure
with
determines
how we
when, not just where deer move. Okay. So, with that said, you can put pressure on deer just as any other human can.
I am pressure.
Your travel route, and we're gonna kind of go more into it, but your travel route going in and out are super duper important. But also, that area that you're hunting, one and done mindset late season. Okay. Because the deer they're already impacted by pressure at this point. It's late in the season. They've been hunted for 2 months now. They see you in that one spot. They smell you in that one spot. They see whatever. That spot's probably dead for a while. Like, might
Mhm.
want to move along. So hunt it strategically. All about strategic hunting late season for sure. Got something?
100%. That's I mean, I've
I
got
think that was
bass that know.
I
Like,
uh,
I can fish certain parts of the pond and catch,
mhm.
but if I go to places I've caught a lot, I can't catch there currently. It's just it's the pressure I've put on those particular spots in the pond.
From later on in the season, yeah.
I mean, if you know if you shot a deer at this spot every single year, every time you've hunted, you're gonna go there every year forever now.
Yes, maybe, right?
Like, at
But you're
least
also
once a year, you gotta check in on it.
you don't wanna hunt the shit out of it either. You might
But
wanna
that's
monitor
no, no,
it.
no, that's not
Yeah.
no, not constantly, just, like,
Oh, no,
every
no.
year, though, you catch it
That's
you
your
get
honey
your one.
hole, and you hunt it right.
Once
And you do that like, I would do that throughout the whole season. I'm gonna put cameras there.
Yeah.
I
It's a
monitor
fail
what's
safe.
there, and
It's my
then
I'm getting a tag no matter what this year, guaranteed. But I'm gonna try and get some others first. Kinda. Is that what you're saying?
yes.
Okay, cool.
Mhm.
Because that's what I was thinking.
And that's really a strategy. The first few weeks of hunting, I
Identify
wanna
a
I
guarantee.
wanna I mean, I wanna identify what I wanna hunt for the season, but
Mhm.
I'm a big fan of shooting does early in the season. I don't give a shit what anybody kills when. If they're doing it legally, that's their business, you know.
Mhm. Who are you to arrest them? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of hate out there,
Yeah.
but my very first deer had spots. I didn't know it had spots, but there's a little bit of like friendly nagging there as far as my uncles and stuff. Like, you killing babies.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it now, you know, but I was like 14, dude. Like,
Yeah, I
you
mean,
know,
there's a time when you didn't know, and
you
there's a
could
time
be
when you do.
something years old and going on your first hunt ever, and you're
Mhm.
gonna be excited, and you're gonna, you know, you may take something that later on down the road of your hunting
Might not have been such a good look.
experience, maybe, you know, you grow and you
Or
learn and you set your own standards. Maybe you would never take home a 3-pound bass anymore. I would. I don't catch bass that often. But like, I'm gonna take that home and eat it.
3
If
pound is
you were eating, would you take a 3-pound or would you throw it back and wait for something bigger? You know what I'm
3
saying?
3 pound is like the cap. So if Imma take
That's well, not the cap, the floor.
no, that's the max weight.
Max weight you would take home to eat?
Yeah, like, if
Oh yeah, because bass or yeah, fishermen
I
like
want
to
them big,
throw
but
bigger things back.
3 but 3 is the good, like, it lived long enough
Mhm,
where it had good maturity and reached its size, but it didn't live so long that it tainted the meat. I mean, it's like,
mhm.
you
Now, older fish are gonna be
taste
fishy.
different, right?
Yeah.
But, like, I
Mhm.
like to keep them about literally just 2 to 3 pounds. If it's not in that 2 to 3, two's not enough. Under 2 ain't enough. It's not worth the effort of
Yeah.
me cutting it up.
Mhm.
3 pounds I can put in because I can get 2 real nice fillets out of. 2 pounds and up to 3,
Yeah,
roughly,
you do
roughly.
fillet, and I think we talked about this in
I just fillet them. I'm not going all crazy.
I always take a spoon and you take the gills off or take the, scales off and then cut the head off, gut it, and then fish fry batter that, and
Yeah,
that's
I
how.
go right behind the gills or, like, right behind the neck where the gills
Mhm.
are, and then just cut a slice in the tail, grab that tail
I'm
skin, and just
Yeah, dude,
right across the rib cage,
if I'm filleting anything, best
and then I
believe
skin it. I skin
75% of
it
the meat
after that.
done. I suck at frying. It'd be
I've
like
got
this.
ADHD, and it's one of the weird things that I'm able to focus on really good. So, like,
The
the amount of s I can skin a fillet so finely.
meticulous.
It's stupid. I did it with a meat cleaver just to prove I could.
Man,
Filleted a crappie that was, like, minimum requirement to take home.
threw my computer off.
9 or 10 inches, I don't remember, but whatever. Whatever the minimum was, we measured it. I got a ruler on the boat.
Going into capping the pressure audit here, I have products for Big Woods, Hill Country, Southeast region. I got like 3 or 4 of them. Most if it's East Coast, I got it. I got you. And it is essentially a 30-second sit or no sit flow chart. Just to read it over real quick. Just doing Big Woods and for the example, I'm not gonna read them all off. Uh, Late season sit decision flow chart, Big Woods. Start at the top. Food used in the last 24 to 48 hours within 200 to 400 yards. If the answer is yes, move down. Thermal/security cover nearby. Conifers, leeward terrain, sun exposure. If yes, move on to the next one. Low hunting pressure. No boot track sleds, easy access. If yes, go on to the next one. Clean entry and exit. No bedding crossed. No food blown out. Next one. Wind correct for entire set. God, dude, that one is huge. You can check the wind. and it'll be blowing south. You sit down, and the last thing you need it to do is to blow anywhere towards east. And you're sitting down, and then you look an hour later, and now it is blowing southeast, and it's gradually starting to go directly. And you're just like, then you have this like whole entire conversation with yourself, arguing, do I sit? Do I stay? Do I move? Do I go? Like, what do I do? Oh, if I get up right now, I'm going to blow the hunt. There could be a deer around the corner. Decide what you decide, based off that information. The next one is, if you got all those, including evening thermals, that does apply, especially in hill country for sure. Evening sit plus that one and done mindset. So if you have all those, green light, automatic no sit triggers, wind dumping into bedding, open hardwoods with no thermal cover, food only active after dark, multiple human tracks today, long, I would even say more than just today, but long, noisy, or exposed exit route. Late season rewards. There's a rule, the last rule for this right here. Late season rewards patience, precision, and restraint. I think that really applies for fishing too, as far as
Oh yeah, I
what I've
mean
learned.
that's easily applicable.
100%.
Big takeaways when you're trying to catch them in the cold, at least in the South, where there's not so much ice. Paying attention to the temperatures. Are they eating or spawning? Could be both, right? Even though you expect spawn in spring, look at the temperature, look at your water. If there's babies in there, I think you might have missed it. They're spawning. So now you got to fish for a spawning bass. Completely different environment. The bass that we're normally facing, though, are, like we were saying, the commuters. They've established a nice foothold. If they're not there, then they're on their commute to find calories. And then they're going to just come back. So it's about patience, persistence, and precision, really. Making sure that you're picking the right shape, the right color. You got throw a Senko. Throw a Senko if you don't know what to do. For real. Just get you a Senko. It's a worm. But it also looks like a threadfin shad, which is common forage for just about any fish when you use it as a jerkbait. With the Senkos, I like them weightless. I'll put them on a shaky head jig or a drop shot. These slow setups are really what's getting bites throughout the winter for me. Biggest thing that I said earlier, I'm going to say again too. The fish are not done eating. They're not hibernating. They are just being very selective about what they eat because of the requirements that they've deemed they have. They need high calories on the intake with minimum on the outtake. The easiest, biggest thing they can eat is what they're going to go for, depending on their appetite. Like I said, they're picky. They might not want a big bite. They might just want a little 2.5-inch crawfish and just call it. You need to play the water and really see.
They want that
But
sharp. They don't want the entree.
I mean, don't overthink it, man. Throw a Senko, and I've got just the setup for you. Like, I mean, you can pick this setup just about anywhere because it doesn't need a brand. So we can go right on into that. Top 3 pieces of gear that you're going to need from me, Mr. Sling That Thing, to increase your chances of hooking up with fish in this cold, pressured time. Keep it easy, keep it breezy. We're starting with a 7-foot medium heavy casting rod with either moderate to fast action. It's the Swiss Army knife of casting rods. You're going to move into your reels. So I've got an 8:1 ratio right here. This one's a Daiwa. Or a 6:4 ratio. Either one of those, I think, is a great starting point. And then you just spool it up with some 20-pound braid. I personally like Beyond Braid. I'm also now sponsored by Beyond Braid. So if you would like 10% off, go to beyondbraid.com/Mr. Sling That Thing. No extra punctuation, no spaces. Find your order, put it together, and just put the code Mr. Sling That Thing in for an extra 10% off. No punctuation, no spaces. Mr. Sling That Thing on Beyond Braid.
Nice.
But once you've got 20-pound braid, your 6'4" or 8'1" ratio reel, and your 7-foot casting rod, you can tie on whatever you want at that point, man. It's a matter of adjusting your settings on your reel, and you can basically fish any application.
Nice.
So all around, get around, and then be able to tackle these fish. If you need 2 more pieces, a hook and a worm. Now you got 5 pieces on how you're going to catch a fish.
That's me.
It's pretty simple.
Hell yeah. We got two more sections here to cover, and then I'll get into some gear recommendations from me I got some for hunting and for just outdoorsmen, really.
Being outside.
Whatever. Next one, boots on ground confirmation. Self-explanatory.
We kind of been talking on that.
Kind of have,
Really
I'm
getting down there, checking it out.
Yeah, there's just a few points in here that's a little bit more in depth. So, fresh tracks, direction of travel does matter. Okay, with the micro terrain that I've had up here, or the microclimates, if you will, something that just kind of threw me was you'd have all these, little creek bottoms just going in, and then you'd have, this draw spur, whatever, and you would expect the deer to like either be up top or down bottom, but instead the tracks would go
like up through the middle,
up this hill, down, like going perpendicular to what you would expect them to do, which was weird. But you have, once again, you can have all the science and all the research in the world.
No, it sounds like
they're animals. Okay.
Sounds like something that we would do.
Yeah, but
like in the army, they wouldn't let us walk at the top or the bottom. We had to walk through the middle of it.
That could have been the deer specifically in this terrain that are used to this terrain. That could have been, the wind was blowing a specific way.
So like it was the easiest way to move with the wind blowing, and
exactly. So I mean,
1,000,001 variables there.
Something that I was a victim of this past hunting season, late season, was I would drop a pin. I'm like, I'm gonna go there. I don't care what happens in between. Like, I know that spot's good, and I already had eyes on it. But then I would see something on the way there, and my intuition would be like, ooh. I'm like, nope. Stick to the plan.
Yeah. Just one.
Fucking sat at those spots, I'd probably closed out, But live, hunt, and learn,
Go with your gut.
Go with your gut. Definitely go with your gut. So fresh tracks, direction of travel matters. Concentrated droppings near food edges.
I mean, it's pretty
there's your staging areas, Yep.
If you got big solid deer shit, odds already lives there.
Fresh browse, nipped tips. You'll have those tips of browse that deer will eat. I listed a bunch of them earlier, but if you see, little twigs kind of nipped off, that's a food line. Follow it. Look at where they're going, where they're coming from, and sit somewhere. Beds located in a wind protected area. You're scouting for that, right? And then minimal intrusion. Verify, don't overwalk. If you have 2 selected spots that you really like, okay, the wind is bad for this one today, but the access route to this other one puts me within glassing range where I can not go into it, but I can see it, right? Take a minute and stop on your way to that other one where the wind is better for the day, and look and see if you can see anything different going on in that area for that day. And that could give you good insight for tomorrow.
Like, being able to identify the beds in the water too. Knowing the difference.
Boots on ground confirmation. The rule that I have for this one, and I'm sorry for the Southeast region. I'm not sorry, because you're actually probably happy that you don't have snow. You don't have snow. I have to deal with snow.
It snowed last year.
Yeah, I did. But what?
But your state's planned for snow. When it snows here, everything dies.
Bro, my hometown got like eight,
Well, your
8 or
hometown,
9
yeah.
inches in Florida.
Yeah.
8 or
Yeah.
9 inches of snow.
I
The
thought
deer
you
were
said
freaking
pictures
out.
of New York, and I was telling Kate that, like, "Yeah, dude, Ward just got hit with the snow up north."
Nope, it was warmer here than it was there when that
Lower
happened.
than lower than where I'm at, and you're getting snowed on.
Absolutely. Well, my rule, snow tells the truth, trust it. You can find deer sign
Mhm.
when there's snow on the ground better than anything else. If you cannot hunt and you or maybe even you're done hunting for the season and you got a fresh snow that night, that
Mhm.
next day, if you want to get more prepared for next season, go scout, go walk it. Go see what the deer are doing, where they're at, where they're sleeping, where they're eating, all that. Keep in mind with where they're eating though, our mass crops, they don't drop every single year. And the country, the country had the biggest mass crop drop in years. So we might not see that much next year. You gonna shit yourself there, Bubs?
Nah, I just
Hold
got
on.
pee though.
You got pee? Yeah, we can take a break right here. We got one more section there. Coming back, coming back. All right, section 7, set up and access. That's where we're going here, and this is win or lose. Okay, number 1, we already know we don't want our win blowing into where the deer is at season round. But that is super important. Downwind or crosswind setup. Your entry routes need to avoid bedding and travel corridors as best you can. Your exit route shouldn't blow food or cover. You're not gonna walk out into the where the deer are eating at just because it's dark because you're messing yourself up for tomorrow or the next day or whatever or the next 2 weeks. And then evening sit is preferred. However, evening sits earlier season, that best moment is like that last 10, 15 minutes, right? Late season, you might have more midday to like early afternoon movement than the last few minutes. If they're gonna walk around the last few minutes, they're gonna go to that staging area. They're gonna wait until it's dark and then they're gonna go eat. They're not gonna be going 30 minutes before dark to eat. And then the rule for this one, late season rewards precision, not persistence. Kind of already said that in the little flow chart there we have for you. And then
A little
late
different,
season,
a little
what's up?
different from bass fishing.
A little bit,
So,
yeah.
you have to be persistent in bass fishing, whereas, like, you have to combine it with precision, whereas
Right.
yours was saying precision is just far more like, if you're just super precise, it's not as important. Well, is that kinda like what you're saying? Like, I'm just trying to pick I'm not a hunter, dude, I don't know. Like, I
Um,
don't know really what you mean with persistence. Like, I would sit in a
okay, so precision for this is like sitting in the right spot versus sitting every single day.
Oh, okay, okay. Instead of just keep doing the same wrong thing over and over,
Mhm.
doing the right thing once really well and forever.
Yeah, if you do the right thing once, you
Yeah. It's the
don't
thing
have to
about
do it
things.
2, 3 times,
There's only 2 ways to do things, the right way and again.
Facts. Man, put that on a T-shirt.
It's
We gotta
only
talk
there's only 2 ways to sling things,
about that.
right and
Late
again.
season mindset, okay? This is in a nutshell. Late season does not forgive mistakes, but it rewards patience. Hunt in the right spot at the right time. And that covers the sections. I do have this little food list right quick. And then going from there, we're going to go into how you get these free products from us, these free printable products, whatever, and gear recommendations, and then a couple honorable mentions, I guess you could call them, shout outs, and then we'll close it up. So, public land natural foods, okay, and this is just general broad spectrum. Okay, we'll talk about hard mass, white oak, acorns, red oak, acorns, beech nuts. If you don't know what the leaves look like and the bark looks like,
Google it.
those are the things you need to be, a Google image.
Google it.
Yep. Woody browse, that's beech buds, red and sugar maple tips, birch, aspen, poplar, dogwood, hobblebush. And then the next one is edge, soft mast, wild apples, hawthorn, mountain ash, and then your residual ag where accessible. Most time you're not going to find ag in like uh, government public hunting land unless it's
Yeah.
in conjunction with, you got a farmer right there next to it, standing corn, waste grain. And then from there, we got private land. This is plantable foods. Make sure I'm a big gardener. It's another ADHD hobby of mine, but make sure you're planting at the right time for the right region. Look up your garden zones. If you don't know, back to Google. Okay. But plant them at the right time. So that way, one, they are edible for
On
the
time.
deer when you need it to be, but also if you throw out certain things in spring, they're not going to be there. You need to plant them in the fall, vice
Keep it
versa.
realistic.
Hey, man, I'm not going to keep going on. Google it. Anyways, brassicas, turnips, radish, kale. I don't know if I want to say this one. Rape. That's a thing. It's a
Oh, right.
brassica. Yeah, rape. Best after frost for those.
Hmm.
And then cereal grains, winter rye, winter wheat, oats. Grain crops is your standing corn, soybean, sorghum, perennials, white and Ladino clover, alfalfa, and then you got from there trees and shrubs. This is more of your you plant these for the long term. Your apple trees, chestnut hybrids, hazelnut, dogwood. Go and get you some dwarf trees. Okay, your dwarf trees.
Do the same thing without getting so
They
big.
they do the same thing, but instead of being the first apple you're gonna get is 5 to 10 years from now, it's 3 to 5 years from now.
Mhm.
It's a smaller tree, it has a smaller harvest, but it's quicker, and you can get those on your property. Maybe plant a few dwarf trees this year and plant your bigger apple trees, whatever you want to plant, chestnuts,
All
whole
right,
nine.
Johnny Appleseed, we get it. You plant trees.
Yeah, you got to
Let's get back
plant.
to
All
hunting.
right.
Let's get back to hunting and fish.
So, gear, where to go? Number one, tried and true. You're going to remember this thing. I hope you have one.
Gear.
This is the last one that I have. It's not specific for hunters. It can be used for fishing. It can be used for hunting. It can be used for just going outdoors. It's a Leatherman, okay? But it's the Leatherman Crunch. And I've never seen them I didn't see them in the PX or anything like that. Our supply office had them when we were on the trail. And
Yes, the silver one, not the black one.
I took so many of them, dude. They're so good. Okay, so Leatherman Crunch kind of comes out like this. And it got a little rusty because I had it in my backpack. I don't normally do that. I can't even open the dang thing right now.
Oh,
But
CLP.
it is, yeah, I need to oil it and clean it. Hey, take care of your daggone gear, unlike me. But the Leatherman Crunch is a vice grip. It's pretty lightweight compared to other Gerbers. It's not big, so, it doesn't need those daggone Gerbers they would give us. They would have like pouches that you put on the belt, and it's like this big. Like, dude, I don't feel like I'm carrying a Glock right now. Chill out.
Yeah, dude.
So,
I just bring a mag pouch.
tried and true. It's the multi-tool, right? But it also, it's got screwdrivers and all that on it, knife and whatnot, but then it's got the vice grip. It's just so useful out in the field for sure. This, yeah, you can use it camping. You can use it if you are a safety on a range while in the Army. And that's the reason that I have this originally. You can use it in the field. It's not best for
Yeah, I got the
hiking.
same one.
Hey,
I'll bring mine with me everywhere.
there we go. It's not best for like,
The
long
tri-fold triangle seat.
Yep.
It's the best.
Not best for if you're like doing this backpacking thing, you want something a little bit more compact. But I threw this in my backpack, and the past 3 years that I've been hunting public land, more than anything, I'm not in a stand. I'm on this, dude. Right behind a deadfall, a little bit for that. But yeah, just a little triangle setup. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
It had a sling on it. This specific brand, I don't even know. Black Sierra, dude. I've had this thing for
Yeah, I got mine at Bass Pro
I don't
like
know.
15 years ago.
7-8 years I've had this, and I've hunted with it like for 3 years. I've hunted hard with this thing.
I bring
I
mine
keep
on
saying,
every-
you know what?
every
Next
fishing
year I'm
trip.
gonna invest in a good climber or whatever, and I'm gonna hunt that way. And every single year I end up back in that chair, dude.
Mhm.
Every year. All right. 2 more quick things. for my saddle hunters, this helped me out greatly. Let me find out where I got the dang thing from. I'm pretty sure I actually 9 times out of
Show
10,
and tell, baby.
I am
It
not
goes on
gonna.
Wild Show and Tell show.
Yep. 9 times out of 10, I'm not gonna recommend, "Hey, man, go get this off TikTok shop." I don't a lot of the shit on there is stupid. But with that said, some things are good. You just gotta be careful about what you buy. Do your research. I'm pretty positive I did get this off TikTok shop, though. I did. From Sport Today, whoever the heck that is. So, it is a tree stand strap hanger. It is great. It worked great for me for saddle hunting. You can use it for hunting wood climber if you want to, or whatever else. But look, getting it up here. Goes around the tree. It's got a nice strap. This thing is pretty solid right there. It's good quality. And then it's got those biting right there. And then you got this
Mhm.
hook. So I go up the tree, and then I'd pull this out of my dump pouch, wrap it around the tree, strap it where I needed it to be. Backpacks off, bows on one hook, and then backpacks on the other one. And it worked great. It does come with the one that I bought. It was $18.99. It's cheap, but good quality. Like I'm squeezing. But it does come with 3 of these. But it was just a pain in my ass getting it in and out of the dump pouch with 3, and I only really used 2, so I took 1 off. But yeah,
Yeah.
good shit.
Nice.
That was 1, 2, 3. Yep, last one. You can use this when you fish. No, this is for just an outdoorsman. Listen, if you're hunting public land like I do, you're gonna be sleeping outside sometimes, going on camping trips, whatever. Maybe you're going on a fishing trip and you're gonna sleep outside. Maybe you're in the military and you may need the camo version of this, which I did use in like your non-tactical settings. Typically, you can't really, especially in the infantry, they didn't like the whole hammocks. They were like,
Mhm.
no, poncho, sleeping bag, be miserable, die. Or want to die. But Ralt, RALLT, it's very dirty and old because I've had this for like 5 years. Don't get the single person one. Not a
Just not
buy.
big enough.
Get the 2-person one for 1 person for you, right? Now this pops out very quickly. Strap it around one side of the tree. It comes with everything you need, and then strap the other side to the other side of the tree. And then this, what's holding it right now, turns into a pocket on the side. And then you can put your belongings in that, put your Leatherman in there, right? And throw it around the other side of you, and you're automatically in a cocoon. And it is the sleep. Oh,
Nothing like being crystallized.
nice. So yeah, those are my gear recommendations. I'm not sponsored by any of them. I'm not getting paid any money. I'm telling you because I like them and they're good shit. So go get them. So to reiterate, what we have for you, and then we're going to tell you how to get it. What we have late season sit or no sit flow charts for East Coast. If you're in the East Coast, we got it for you. We got stuff for food for temperature. We got the late season whitetail food versus temperature chart. We also have the East Coast late season food guide. There's 2 different ones. There's the temperature chart, what basically like what kind of activity they're going to be doing, what they're eating, where they're eating when, based off temperature. And then we also have the other product there. And then you want to cover what you got for fishing.
Yeah, so with the fishing, it's more general sense because the fish, like I said, they're really not different based on where they are because they run off temperature, moon phases, and what water they're in. So I've got together a few different sheets talking about how they're eating based on the moon phases, how they're eating with temperature considerations, what the bass are doing during just times of year. If you see certain patterns, you'll be able to recognize what the bass is actually doing. Is it hiding? Is it mating? Is it eating? These are the kind of things that we're going to be breaking down for you through these digital products. Definitely for me, at least, on the largemouth bass department. Microterus salmoides. That's the Latin name. You're welcome.
Oh yeah. Latin name for deers. Anyways.
Oral.
Uh I got to do a quick shout out for a, a family member of mine. And then we're going to go into some relatable stories for late season. So at Reyes, REYESADD, attention, yeah, that one, design, s.etsy.com. It's Rad2 Design, okay, on Etsy. They have the laser engraver machine, and they can do anything you want. They have a couple things on there, about six couple. They have about 16 things on there right now. We're talking some slate coasters, any of your gift products that you want to do, cutting boards, toolboxes, tumblers. That's what those called. I couldn't think of that daggone name for a second.
Nice metal cups,
keychains, everything like that. And very, very soon we're gonna have on there a little bit of merch for ourselves, but also, maybe you want a keychain or a coffee mug that says Drill's Gone Wild on it, and that will be one of the places you can find it. We're gonna have merch from a few different spots, but that will be one of them. Little backstory, okay, and why you want to order from this guy. My brother-in-law, Mario Reyes, we are eventually gonna put him onto the show to talk about health.
just have him
life.
on. Come
Yeah.
see what he
Talk
wants
about
to talk about. Really,
be a little bit military involved, but if you've ever heard of Marcus the Trail, if you've ever seen the movie Lone Survivor, hmm my brother-in-law was on that mission. There was a squad of, he just told me it was, I believe it was 9 or 11. So there was about 30 Rangers. They weren't even on QRF. I don't want to tell too much of his own story, but they weren't on QRF. And then the QRF was elsewhere. So they're like, hey man, we got to go. A 8-hour mission turned into a 14-day mission. And one of the 9 individuals in the Ranger Battalion that saved Marcus Trail's life happened to be the Ranger that saved Marcus Trail's life, is my brother-in-law. He has his side business, and he would love for you to go and support him, man. Go buy a $5 keychain, okay? It's not that big a deal. Go buy a toolbox with whatever you want on it. If your favorite team is, though, you're wearing Steelers right now?
yeah, Steelers.
Yeah.
You're
Your
a
favorite
Steelers
team
one.
is
Why
the
not?
Steelers?
Kind
There
of, if
might
you
be
can.
some
I don't
licensing
try to
stuff on that.
cosplay.
However, you can have
You have some
custom
other
design,
designs.
okay? Anything you want, they can do. Even if it's like tumbler cups and it's not even to do with laser engraving, they have pretty much any custom design thing you can imagine, they can do. So go check them out on Etsy, Rad2 Designs. That is my shout out for the day. Did you have another shout out, or are we going to go into stories? Because
No, let's roll. Let's roll with these.
you want
What?
to hit that first?
How did the human bodies that we hold handle that cold?
Let me tell you, there has been other hunters just as dedicated as me up here in the area that I'm hunting. But it goes from 40 to 50 people hunting this specific area to 2 or 3.
Mhm.
And, you find out who the real dedicated are. And it has surprised me that other people on some days, I was like, I don't know how the fuck he handled that. I'm like, that was rough for me.
Yeah.
And I guess how my body has acclimated to that is that whole suffering mindset from the military. And it really reminds me, late season reminds me so much of Alaska. This late season did specifically, where it's absolutely brutally miserable. You don't want to be out there, but you do,
You kind of
Um,
do, just a little bit. You kind of
fortunately,
want to be mad. Like you kind of want it to make you mad because you're like, I'm gonna nail it. Whatever I was supposed to do today, I'm gonna nail it.
Hey man, when you get back in the truck, you're like,
That wasn't even that bad,
the
really.
whole time crying on this. Alaska, dude. There was this one field problem. We were in the Yukon training area. We took our strikers. We knew what was coming, kinda. Like we knew that it was gonna have like a good dip down to like -25, -35, which
Mhm.
we were prepared for. We weren't prepared for what
No
actually.
one prepared.
We were prepared for the forecast. Okay. We had the Arctic 10-man tents with the
The jets and
those
everything.
the JP8 fuel
Mhm.
can stoves, and then we had our strikers that were most of them were heated. They were supposed to be anyways,
Yeah.
but nothing prepares you for -67. It just
Mm.
is miserable.
And they're
I'm
and
talking people getting frostbite, going to a porta john, and we had these we had those Arctic muffins. You probably got them up in Lewis. The Arctic mittens where we had to
Yeah.
tuck in pants. You would
Mhm.
take those out, and then you'd take like your 11 layers off, right? And you would
Yep.
put those down on the toilet seat. One guy didn't. There's an acronym going around. It was heavily used in military, but now it's being used in like politics and all kinds of other shit right now. But FAFO, okay.
Yeah, the old FAFO.
Yeah, he did the fat and then the faux happened, okay? And
I know.
that was contact frostbite is what we call that on the butt cheeks. Lucky you didn't get other things, but yeah, that's a different type of cold.
That's how you have
And
a long ass day.
I'll tell you what, below below -10 in Alaska, because you got wet cold, you got dry cold, very
Yeah.
dry up there. So -10 there is, you know, what 20 degrees, 10 degrees here feels like. But below -10, it doesn't feel colder, it hurts faster. You put
You
it
just
like
feel
that.
the burn of the cold quicker.
Mhm. Absolutely. And you can't once you're exposed to a colder weather injury, you are more prone to it for the rest of your life. Like my fingertips and my toes, they just get so much colder, so much faster now than they did. And that was because of that training event right there where I almost got frostbite. And then another out of work shenanigan, private days. Tried to
Hell yeah.
tried to make a shortcut home when it was -20 and the snow was about waist deep, and my buddy was too drunk. He was too drunk to help me up, and I
Mhm.
was too drunk to get up on my own. So this man would stand there every time I fell, because when you fall in that waist deep snow, you just kind of like slow fall. You're like, I'm going down, help. Oh,
Yep.
you can't.
Feet are still in place. You're just like,
This dude couldn't help me up, so I'm barehanded, -20, climbing up another grown man's body, just like, help me, let me get me out of here. We're like a mile away from the house. Oh my god, dude. That was such a dumb move. Screwed me up for life. My finger.
well, you remember what we used to say. There's no cold weather.
What?
Oh,
You used to say
oh,
what?
there's no
Say that.
what? Yeah, there's
There's no
none of those. That's not a thing. Can't be that in the
oh
cold weather.
oh cold weather isn't a thing. Is that what you said?
You can't be that in the cold weather. It's impossible.
Yeah, dude.
It's the
It's
code.
physically
You're just
impossible.
not. It's like
I,
you know.
I
You just
Do you
can't.
remember that? I used to tell like how I should be yelling at trainees. How the fuck are you standing at attention for a drill sergeant right now? That is fucking physically impossible. And they were like,
How are you fucking doing this?
"Ah, he doesn't even have physics going on. What the fuck? You're living in an alternate dimension." And that's what you feel like when you're in -67 degrees. I'm dude, hunting
Just in
in
a whole
that.
nother dimension. Just freezing death in your
I
head,
wonder.
outside of your head, in your bed.
I wonder in Alaska, like the Chena River that goes right through the post there. I wonder when it's like gets down to like -40, right? I wonder what the depth is. Like, do people ice fish in it? I know they have to. Like as Eskimos and shit, tribes live off of fish during the winter up there and shit. So I know it's done, but like, how deep do they gotta go? I'm
I've
curious.
always wondered, like, how
I
do
gotta
the
look that
ice
up
fishermen
right.
figure it out?
I ain't gonna look it
We
up
just got to
right now.
get one. We just got to get an ice fishing house or
Oh
whatever,
yeah,
and then just go do it and
um,
just figure it out.
a shanty. I have a whole setup available to me up here that I could use. I just got nobody to do it with, and I just don't
Yeah.
want to do it alone. It's not something I want to
Ice
learn.
fishing by myself. I mean, I'd probably have fun. I'd probably be
Oh
fun.
yeah, like dude, you got to come up. You got to go do it.
Just be sitting
I
in there,
step
just
in
have to bring a
negative
TV.
40-degree weather. I'll see what it says. That's not specific to the region, obviously. Um, stop. Just tell me. I don't want to read the whole article, you know?
So what's the next
so
steps?
boring. There we go. 12 to no, that's going like that's not what I'm looking for. Whatever. It's something like
Whatever.
12. It
We're
goes
jumping
like
down.
what pulled up was like what you can put on the depth.
Mhm.
12 to 15 inches is what you needed for a truck. I'll Google it later. Hey, if you want some products, okay, you're gonna go to drillsgonewild@gmail.com. Pretty simple. If you want any of those products, email us. We check
We'll
it
get
on
back.
Mondays and Fridays during our meetings, and we will get it to you, whatever you want. Specify in the email, obviously. And then go ahead and in the comments, whatever you find this on. You know, if you're on TikTok, if you're on YouTube, drop a comment saying, "Hey, I shot you an email," and you know we greatly appreciate that. If you wanted to see the gear and you're listening to this audio now that we're done with the podcast and you've listened to all of it on Apple, thank you. I appreciate that. Could you just jump over to YouTube and watch?
Go watch it.
That'd be sick. You could help the views, you know?
You got kids bothering you and you don't know what to put on?
I got
Put on
mouths.
Drills Gone Wild. Just put on the Drills Gone Wild.
Yeah.
We have enough now that we can occupy them for at least 8 business hours.
100%.
We can
Are you
babysit
getting
your
paid
kids,
to sit on your
just
butt?
like we used to babysit the kids that came to us. Put us on your TV. We'll watch your kids.
Ill advised. I will
Come
watch
on now.
mine. I will watch mine. Listen, I got a 10-year development plan for my child, but I don't fuck about your kid, dude. I care about mine. I'll protect yours.
No, they're just
I'll
watching us
protect
on
any
TV.
child.
They're just watching us on
Watching 'em
TV
do
instead
it?
of Bluey.
Have you ever gone into like a kindergarten class and just stood in the like corner for like 10 minutes?
It gives me anxiety.
Them teachers need to be paid. Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I
need to go
can't.
smoke. I need to go
I don't
smoke
even know
one of
which
them
one of these is
grandma.
mine anymore.
What were them cigarettes called? The extra long ones?
Virginia Slims.
Yeah, the Virginia Slims. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, dude, I don't even.
Tight,
I
dude.
gotta go smoke one of those right now. Holy crap! Birthday parties. I gotta do one here coming up soon. I gotta
Birthday parties,
ice skating.
kindergarten classrooms, hunting in the winter, and fishing in the winter. All 4 things that are extremely hard, but we figured out how to do. We're the Drills Gone Wild. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Peace.
He broke the line.
Yeah.
We got it.
That shit hurt you when they don't